Alright Exile, so in my last video we talked a little bit about Diablo 4 as well as Path of Exile and why players should come over and just give the game a try. Now I did get a lot of comments from you, and one specifically that stuck out to me was how seasonals in leagues work. There was one comment in particular that really stuck out that says, I really wish ARPG YouTubers, mainly Diablo and Path of Exile, would go in depth about seasons in leagues. As a casual player, I only do campaign because I don't get the point of seasons or leagues. But every time a video like this come out, they always gloss over how leagues and seasons work or just dismiss it as common knowledge, when personally, I think that's what casual players know the least about. I want to first off say I really appreciate your comment, and anyone who ever comments on my videos, I actually really appreciate when you guys leave them, so feel free to leave what you think. But yeah, I guess that is very true. Not a lot of people talk about them, and for me, this is something that I do believe is common knowledge. With that in mind though, I will be actually answering your question today in this video so that players actually have a better understanding of how seasons and leagues work in Path of Exile. So let's actually dive into the video. Now let's actually talk about the seasonal systems and why these things are important and why people actually do them. Now for me, it comes down to three very specific things. Feel free to leave down in the comments why you play seasons, or for Path of Exile, leagues. So the first reason why you want to play leagues is very simple. They introduce brand new mechanics into the game. At the moment, Path of Exile 1 has 40 individual leagues, with a good portion of those carrying over, giving you completely different type of playstyles that you otherwise wouldn't have. For example, Delve League was reintroduced into the game after Delve League ended, and right now, if you wanted to, you could spend the vast majority of your time in the Delve area, facing off against very unique bosses, earning loot, selling fossils, and doing whatever the hell people down there actually does, because I don't really delve much. So this will introduce a ton of new mechanics, gems, skills. It rebalances the game, changes it in a way so that, it keeps it fresh. Those are like one of the first reasons why you want to participate in the new season. The second, and again using Path of Exile as my primary reason why you want to play a new league, is because the market resets and everything resets. Everyone starts on even playing field if the servers are working, and this means that everyone is starting from nothing. And if you like playing the market, which a lot of players do, the discovery of finding a new item and selling it, or getting an item no one has ever had, and purchasing things and making really cool builds is really enticing to players. Some of my favorite creators, like Empyrium, is a creator who actively puts a lot of effort with his crew to just milk the hell out of the game and earn tons of money. It's a massive endorphin hit. It's so cool to be able to buy whatever you want, and playing the market is something that's really awesome. Sorry I have to re-record this part, but the final reason is competition. One of the funnest parts of starting a new season is jumping in and seeing that all your friends are actively playing, going to your friends list and seeing everyone leveling up. What I do personally, and let me know down in the comments if this is something you do, is I'll check every 30 minutes to see the pace in which my friends are going, just to see how fast I'm getting at completing the campaign. Keep in mind, a lot of my favorite content creators, a lot of my friends, everyone is just actively playing, and being able to be a part of something new and fresh is always fun. It reminds me of those days when a brand new MMO comes out and everyone from many different walks of life, from many different game genres, come in and play a brand new MMO because it's so damn hot, and that's kind of the feeling you get from Path of Exile's new league. The important thing to note is, and this is something I see a lot of people say, is they don't want to go to a new league because they inherently end up losing a ton of gear and their main character is not really getting more powerful. You have to think of it this way. Let's say you're on the normal realm because you leveled up a character, you got your character to max level, you got all your skill points, you got all the gear that you will feel reasonable for you to be as powerful as possible. At that time, what are you going to be doing with that character? Well, essentially nothing. So whenever you enter yourself into a new league, what you essentially do is set yourself up to find brand new different types of gear, new gems, and things that you otherwise wouldn't have on that character. Remember, after the league ends, your characters go back to the normal realm, and then all the items that you find you can use on your other characters. So you don't actually lose anything. You actually gain the opportunity to find a lot of new items and a lot of new things that you otherwise wouldn't if you just continue to play that normal character. There's a whole lot of challenge, whole lot of rewards, a whole lot of fun to be had, and if you skip out on the leagues, you actually end up missing a lot of these. You also have to take into consideration that these leagues last a good 4 months in a lot of cases. That's a long time for you guys to play. A lot of times for me specifically, I would just play for about 2 months, and then in the next 2 months I'll go look at another ARPG, jump into something like like Diablo or play Last Epoch. And that's the great thing about leagues and just playing ARPGs in general. It gives you time to play, you know, one game, and then you can play many other things and have a taste of everything. I'm of the mind that as a gamer in 2024, there's 0% chance that I'm just playing one game. I don't try to treat games like MMOs. I try to play them for what they are. And if you actually embrace the league mechanic, I think a lot of you would have significantly more fun in the games that you play. And this kind of ties into the mindset that I wanted to actually initially start in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to be adding at the end of this video. The thing you need to understand about Path of Exile and Diablo 4 is that the campaign is functionally a tutorial. And if you're only playing the campaign, you're not playing any capacity of the actual game. And I'm going to use Path of Exile as an example because their campaign is clearly designed to teach you how to play the game. Early on, you're given skill gems and it tells you exactly how the mechanic works. You attach support gems to those specific gems that give them benefit and makes it easier for you to deal damage. As you progress through the story, when you go face off against the Dweller in the Deep, you're rewarded with the ability to pick up a flask so that you can understand the flask system a little bit early. I believe Dweller gives you the flask, don't quote me on that, but pretty much you're given the ability to pick up a flask. A lot of the different As you go through each of the individual campaign and acts, you'll notice that every single one of those acts are fairly different with different enemy types, whether it be different elemental types or whether it be very different type of mechanics on how the bosses behave. You encounter all those things. Once you hit Act 6, when you face off against Katava, you lose resistance. The game teaching you that you need to cover your resistance because when you go to the next act, a lot of those guys who shoot those very heavy elemental focus abilities will absolutely shred you if you didn't account for the resistances, once again teaching you need to cover for them. Once you reach Act 7, you will get the maps from Malagaro and it'll teach you about the mapping system, leading you all the way to the end where you face off against Katava once again hitting you with negative resistance. And since you understand the last time you got hit with negative resistance, you know exactly what you need to do. And that's kind of the purpose of the campaign. It is to show you how to play the game. And once you do that, you already know once you go to the map system, because you went into Malagaro's map and maybe died, that you're going to lose portals. And you are already mentally primed for that. You already probably tried to cover your resistances because after Katava first time hit you with the negative resistances, you took a ton of damage, so you're going to cover for that. Long story short, what I'm trying to get at is the campaign is something that is supposed to be short term, something that is a very small portion of the game, and you should generally look at it as a tutorial. So if you are actively using the campaign as your primary form of the game, and I really hate saying this to gamers, you're playing the game incorrectly. If you're looking to play a campaign, you may need to go look at games like Baldur's Gate 3, Fallout 4, Metaphor ReFantazio, and many other games that are more focused towards completing a base campaign, not necessarily doing a completely different system outside of the campaign. Hopefully this helps a lot of you who are kind of stuck in this mindset, because I do think there's a disconnect from some of you who don't understand that the campaign is not meant to be the actual game. It's just supposed to be a tutorial to help you. Now that's pretty much all I have to say on the subject when it comes to the league and the league mechanics. Again, as I said earlier in the video, it's a really fun experience and you should give leagues a real chance, because you're going to find yourself having a lot of fun. Either way, if you did enjoy videos like this one, consider leaving me a like or even subscribing to the channel. As I say in all of my Path of Exile 2 videos, I'm going to be covering Path of Exile when it launches on November the 15th. So if you want to, stay up to date on guides, tips, tricks, and all that good stuff, consider subscribing, as well as jump into the Discord. We're going to be having communities in there, as well as doing giveaways for the early access launch. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one very soon.